Hello everybody, welcome to the Easterner, a channel that brings a fresh perspective from an Eastern European point of view on topics such as politics, culture, economics, for both natives and as well as for an international audience. I hope you will enjoy, and with that out of the way, let's start the video.
Hello to today's episode in which we will cover a topic that is affecting everybody, and I mean everybody. It does not matter if you live in the countryside or in the city. It does not matter if you live in a country from Europe, America, Asia, wherever. It is something that is affecting you no matter where you live, and yes, I'm talking about the traffic, but especially about traffic jams. Outside the cities, yes, not in the city, but on the national roads or highways. I'll give you some background to some of Romania particularities and when I present to you my theory and also the actual observations and confirmations that I was able to take, as I am a driver that makes about 50,000 kilometers per year, which is roughly 31,000 miles. So let's start with Romania's situation. We currently have around 911 kilometers of highway which are open to the traffic. Not much, but then again, we are not a big country. The problem is that these 911 kilometers, which are represented by the green lines, are not connected and lead to nowhere. Crucially, if you look closely, you will see that the green lines are interrupted by some other colors. This means that you can't drive on those from point A to point B. You have to exit the highway and get back to it on later. This is very problematic, as you can imagine. The next big problem is that the national roads network, although it increased in quality in the last 10 years, it did not grow, and we have to deal with the roads that pass through every village. This is, of course, leads to a different set of problems. Increased accident risk, pedestrian traffic, animals, very low speed, and frustration that builds up if you intend to travel long distances, let's say more than 100 kilometers on one trip. During holiday seasons, everything just gets worse, but that is not the whole picture. If you listen to the officials, they would say that the number of cars in Romania has increased, true, and the infrastructure is not designed to handle the increased volume, but there are projects and they are working and so on. To their credit, they are right in some sort, because for example in 2018 there was an increase of 7.3% compared to 2017 in the numbers of registered vehicles, and the trend maintained. Now in 2021 there are 9.2 million registered vehicles compared to 8.2 million in 2018, which is an 11% increase, more or less. So all that I mentioned are reasonable and understandable causes of the traffic jams, but they are not the main cause. The increase in vehicles on the same infrastructure will lead to a decrease in traveling speed, but not to a complete stop of the traffic. Now, I have a theory and I will back it up with a video that I captured in one of my trips and some other observations that I made throughout the years. The main responsible for the traffic jams are not the usual suspects, which are infrastructure, congestions, accidents, construction works, and so on. The main culprits are the so-called responsible driver, which are actually incompetent drivers. Why? Because they can't drive. They are slow, unpredictable, dangerous, they don't know what to do or can't, and you can't overtake them. You can't go around them. They don't stop, they don't let you maneuver. They just cause the traffic jam with their incompetence. They will say that they are prudent, that they drive safe, and some other ridiculous pretext, when the truth is that they are not able to drive with the speed limit of that road sector. They drive 20-30 km per hour slower than that. So next, I will show you just one of the many examples. I was driving home from a city in Romania where I had some business to attend. It was about 8 p.m. on a Wednesday night, nothing special, but it was a Prahova Valley, a busy road as it crosses the mountains and goes to some popular tourist attractions. But it was evening, Wednesday, outside the tourist period, and it is usually clear at that time. There are only about 10 kilometers, a less than 10 minutes trip between Sinaia and Comarnic. There are some bends in the road, but nothing difficult. You can drive with the recommended speed limit with no problem. So I was driving home and I was making a very good time when all of a sudden, just outside Sinaia, this happens. I see in front a truck and I said, okay, this will be a little bit slower than usual, but nothing serious, as I was thinking that, yeah, maybe we'll go a bit slow, but we should not be that long. But actually, the problem was not the small truck, it was actually the car in front of it, which, as you can see, now we are driving with about 40 kilometers per hour, now we are decreasing to 30, was actually causing the slowdown in traffic. So this was getting pretty frustrating as we were a few minutes and we were barely moving, and it slowly started to build up the traffic behind me. Now you can see we are down to 30 kilometers per hour. And now one of the drivers makes a very dangerous overtake on a continuous line. I can totally understand him because it was not a reasonable way of driving. Now here comes this bend in the road, this curve, which is not at all a serious one. It is quite smooth, and we are now slowing down to less than 20 kilometers per hour, almost stopping. So already in my back there are so many cars, I can't even see the end of the queue. People are getting frustrating. There are horns. I'm really anxious because there is no reason to drive that slow. Yes, it's night, it's dark, but still the road is dry. There is no weather problem, and we continue to drive like that for the entire road. And I was expecting at some point, because now I'm trying to show you in the mirror the length of the queue, but I'm not sure you can see very well. But as we were driving, I was expecting for that driver to stop on the right side of the road so that we can overtake it, because it drives so slow that it doesn't matter for that person when they will reach the destination, but for us it will. So basically we ended up driving for almost 30 minutes on a piece of road that should not take more than 10. And in my back there was such a long queue that this caused a jam. And then you see in the news huge traffic jam on the Prahova Valley. Many thousands of cars are stuck in traffic and things like that. And but you never hear about a particular reason. You only hear the situation, but nobody gives the cause. And this is the cause. My conclusion is that the main cause of the traffic jams are actually these type of drivers. They are not prudent, they are incompetent as they cause a lot of problems for all the rest, and some lose patience and do reckless things just like you saw, which put additional people at risk. My conclusion: if you can't drive, you are a danger to yourself and the others. Take the bus, the train, or stay at home. Be kind and don't cause traffic jams. What do you think about this topic? I'm really curious to find out if you think this is a good and safe way to drive or not. So let me know in the comment section below.
Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed what we covered, and I'm really curious to find out your opinion. So please let me know in the comment section below. If you want to find out more and get notified each time I post a new video, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. A like and share on YouTube and other social media platforms will be highly appreciated, as it will help the channel reach more people and bring a fresh perspective into the ongoing culture wars. Until the next time, stay safe from the left.